What up, everyone? Maksat Ibrahimov here for MMA Heart, and you all already know who this is. He is the BFL kickboxing world champion, the undefeated Amir Ghassemi. How are you doing, Amir?
I'm doing great, brother. Thanks for having me on, bro.
Thank you so much for doing this, Amir. And I just want to first of all ask you about your own career. There's more and more rumors that you're soon to going to be making your MMA debut. We hear the UFC heavyweight Kaya Machado talk about it, Lions MMA page talk about it. So just want to ask your thoughts about how this all came together and why you're transitioning into MMA.
Yeah, I mean, I've been training MMA for a long time. I started doing MMA very early in my career at the start of my training and all that kind of stuff as well. I've always been training elements of it through whether it was coaching guys or whether it was just training with the team and that kind of stuff. It's always been a passion of mine. Striking is, of course, my passion. I love to focus on the stand up aspect of it, but I've always kind of worked elements of MMA. It's something that's always been on my radar. It's something that I've always wanted to do, and I think we're finally coming to the point of putting on those small gloves.
Absolutely. And do we have any news on the opponent? You know, the fight date, the promotion, the weight class where this will all be happening?
We're working on things. Let's just put it that way. We're working on things. We're going to see how this kind of plays out. I don't have any real news as of yet, but
Mhm.
you can expect to see me on. I can't share it just yet.
Right.
But you'll get the news soon enough.
hmm And you know, there's many different high-level kickboxers who transition into MMA, the likes of Alex Pereira, Israel Adesanya. I just want to ask you, how is your transition going? And I mean, of course, you're an elite world-class striker. Do you think that these guys will stand with you, or do you think they will all look to take you down? And if they do take you down, you know, having very strong grapplers in your team like Neto Estrella and you know Rodrigo Cezinando, you know, how important are these guys for your new camp transitioning to MMA?
I mean, I think we have to understand that striking and MMA are totally completely different, right? Striking in the ring when it comes to kickboxing and Muay Thai are going to be very different from striking in MMA when it comes to the small gloves and that kind of stuff. So I think people will attempt to stand, and I think people will try to stand um, at the start. But once they
Okay.
feel certain power, or see the different speed and the different elements that I can bring to that cage, I think things will change quite quickly. But I will say I will surprise a lot of people with my wrestling as well. So we'll
Okay.
see. We'll see kind of how things play out. I plan to be prepared everywhere it
Mhm.
goes. So in terms of my teammates and that kind of stuff, I have the absolute best teammates, man. I put on for them, they put on for me, and they always support me in my camps and vice versa. Having guys like Neto who are instrumental in my jiu-jitsu, and people like Rodrigo who are just such a challenge to train with every single day and continuously push each other to get better in all aspects. So
Mhm.
guys like Ali who are fantastic, Cena, so many different guys that we work with. So I'm very blessed to have a great team here.
And how far do you want to go in your MMA journey? Is your dream also to make it to the UFC?
Step by step, step by
Mhm.
step. I would say my focus right now is let's get that first one under our belt. Let's get that first
Mhm.
one under our belt, and we're gonna play it step by step. That's
Mhm.
the biggest thing for me. My focus has always been on coaching. My focus has always been on continuing to promote our guys and continue to see guys get to the next level and so on. And a
Mhm.
few of the guys are very close to that, and
Mhm.
seeing how close they have gotten has also created a lot of motivation for me to get there and see what I can do too.
And of course, you're still undefeated. You know, you still have that all on your record. How important is it for you to remain undefeated and keep that all?
It's not important. It's not important at all. It's a nice thing to be able to kind of like put out there and that kind of stuff. I think it's a testament to the hard work that we put in. I think it's a testament to the coaching that I have. I think it's a testament of the work that I put in myself, and the people who put in the work with me. But you know how many fantastic fighters in the bigger leagues have retired undefeated? Very little, very
Mhm.
little. It's one of those things that as you kind of continue to face higher opposition and higher level opponents, you know who knows what's going to
Mhm.
happen, right? Especially
Mhm.
in MMA world, anything can happen, right? Those small gloves, anything can happen. So it's
Mhm.
not an important thing for me. It's not a defining thing for me. um, if somebody takes it one day, fuck, all the power to them. All the power to them.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
I'll fucking fight tooth and nail to make sure that they don't.
Absolutely, absolutely. And how many times this year can all the fans expect to see you? How active do you want to be this year? Perhaps you haven't been as active as you would like recently.
Yeah.
So also wondering what has caused the inactivity and how active do you want to be from now on?
There's a various there's a very I have quite a few various answers when it comes to that. And unfortunately, with activity and that kind of stuff, it's been a tough one. It's been a tough one. I have been plagued with injuries before. I'm not going to really go into the details of the injuries, but enough that it sidelined me for a little bit.
Mhm.
So it's been tough in terms of just kind of getting um, a routine going in terms of being active, right? My goal has been I want to fight constantly, right? So if I'm getting back into the ring, let's say if I was fighting in May,
Mhm.
maybe if I was
Okay.
fighting in May, I'd like to
Okay.
potentially be fighting in June or July again. Yeah, I'd like to be
Mhm.
fighting again in September or October again. My last fight was in September. My plan was to be fighting in, I believe, November. It didn't work out. We tried for December. It didn't work out. And it's then, little injuries popped up and it's kind of sidelined me to this point. So
Mhm.
I'm hoping that once the ball gets rolling, we can get it rolling and continue on.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. It would be great to have you on that May card, of course, sharing the card with Ali Bomaye as well as Rodrigo Cezinando, the BFL card.
It
But
would
I
be an
want to ask
incredible
you,
card.
but I also want to ask you about the guy whose name is Frank Hickman. He's one of the coaches at CKB City Kickboxing Academy.
Yep.
He corners a lot of the guys, manages the gym as well. Does a lot of the coaching too. Do you think that your role at Lions MMA is sort of very similar to what Frank Hickman is doing over there? Of course, he's working with guys like Alex Volkanovski, Israel Adesanya, and Kai Kara France. Do you think that your role is sort of very similar to what he's doing?
Yeah, I mean, it's very difficult. I think when you approach things as a fighter, I basically play two lives realistically.
Mhm,
So
mhm,
when you approach things as a fighter has to be selfish realistically in
mhm,
a certain way, right? And
mhm,
what I mean by that is they have to focus on their training. They have to focus on the things that are going to make them better, the opportunities that they have, and
mhm,
their team and so on. But they have to be, you know it's their career that they're really focusing on and pushing, right? As a
mhm,
coach, it's the complete opposite. As a coach, it's you have to be selfless. You have to be as giving as possible. You have to make yourself available and do everything in your power to make sure that the athletes are getting what they need from you, and so on. So playing that fine line is difficult. It's a difficult position to be in. So with Frank Hickman, if he's running things like that, it's I could say it's in comparison, right?
mhm,
For
mhm,
me, I get just as much satisfaction, if not more satisfaction,
mhm,
seeing the guys get to where they need to get to. Seeing people that have put the work in, that have constantly showed up, that have put the hard work and performed well and listened well and so on. That
mhm,
means the world to me, right? Seeing guys like Ali achieve his, a huge goal for him of winning the 135 belt.
mhm.
That eluded him for a while, even though he was number one for the longest time, right?
That's right.
Seeing him get that belt was, I can't ask for anything else. That was a happier moment for me than myself winning a belt. You know what I mean?
Mhm, mhm, mhm,
Um, and same with like Rodrigo and all the other guys.
mhm.
Yeah, yeah. So
And of course, on February 9th, Lions MMA Gym picked up those two, championship straps. How much do you think this speaks to the body of work that, the gym, Coach Paulie, and all of you guys have put in?
yeah, those are great accolades that come back to the gym, right? That's the great thing to show that we've had many world champions before. We've had many professional champions. We've had many amateur champions. We've had champions all over different disciplines and so on. And it's just a further testament to the coaching and the effort that goes in by Coach Paulie and the team here, right? So
Mhm,
it's like we always say, it's great to win titles, but titles don't define us either. It's what we
mhm,
do every single day, not just on the day.
mhm, mhm. And of course, Lions MMA now has two world champions, Ali Bomayev Asuk, as well as Rodrigo Cezinando. Just wondering your thoughts about these guys. How far away do you think that they are from earning that UFC contract, and what is their potential?
I think the potential for both of them is, to be honest, untapped. I think it's one of those things where they're if anything just getting going. You know what I mean?
Mhm,
Even though they've been in this game for a long time, even though they've
mhm,
just been in this game, it's incredible to see how fast they both grow,
mhm,
how fast they pick things up, and
mhm,
uh, and how quickly they're able to apply things. Um, I think they're both very, very close. I'm excited for both of them. I'm excited to be along for the ride as well, and I'm very blessed to be able to be in their corner and also be one of their teammates.
And how massive do you think that would be for Lions MMA, and how much it would mean for Coach Paulie to, finally have two UFC, fighters, as well as for the city of Vancouver? How massive do you think this would be for the community in general?
I think for the community it's huge, right? I think it's showing, two more homegrown guys that have made it. It makes a big difference. It continues to open doors for the Vancouver MMA scene, and we've had a great scene here in terms of amazing athletes. From all different types of gyms, right? So we've had tons of guys here, but unfortunately they've always had to kind of go elsewhere or try to do other things to be able to kind of get in there. And the fact that we have an organization like BFL that's able to create that pathway now with Fight Pass and all that kind of stuff, and create that kind of like momentum for a lot of guys to kind of get their shot. It's been great, right? It's been great. It just shows the level that we have in Vancouver as well. And for for us, it's the end goal for all of us is not like, when I say this as a coaching aspect of it, whether people want to make it to the UFC or not, we just want people to put their best effort forward, right? That's the number one thing that we focus on. It's step by step, right? The goal can be the UFC. The goal for many is the UFC. That's awesome, but we got to put in the work to get there, right? Each step.
And could you tell us about any other guys who are potentially coming up at Lions MMA? What is some other talent out there? Could you give us some names of those guys?
I have so many people here, bro. we have a huge group of lots of talented fighters and again, it's all to me, it's all a testament to Coach Paulie and the effort that he puts in as well, because of it shows his coaching style, right? It shows his coaching style. It shows his coaching ability to get so many people to where they need to get to, and to get so many people to understand his techniques and how to apply them and so on. I'm very blessed to have one of the best coaches in the city, if not, in my opinion, the absolute best. But we have tons of guys, man. Cena Manny's coming up right now. He's 1-0 pro. He's gonna be fighting on that card as well, which I'm excited for him. He's been putting in a lot of work over the last little bit, and he's my little brother, and he's gonna do amazing things. He's gonna do absolutely amazing things. I have nothing but faith and hope. Very proud of him. Another guy's that's on a crazy tear right now is Roman. Roman's just putting people to sleep left and right, and he's a great teammate to have, and I can firsthand say he hits so hard. He hits so hard. Guys like Val, Val's getting in there over and over again. His experience is coming up, and his fight IQ is improving every single day. We have tons of guys, man. We have tons of guys. Bernie's gonna be fighting on that card as well. Bernie is so talented, man. Such a talented fighter. So hardworking in the gym as well. Probably one of the hardest working guys in the room. I'm excited for everyone, man. I'm excited for this whole team. There's obviously people that I'm missing out on, and I apologize to them. But we got so many guys that are coming up for sure.
No, absolutely. That Lions MMA room is absolutely full of potential over there. A couple last ones from me, Amir. When I used to live in Vancouver, I used to live in North Vancouver. All of the interactions that I had with the Persian communities, they have always been great. They have treated me so nicely. Just want to ask you, yourself, representing Iran and, proudly representing that nation. How important is it for you to represent your people on the world stage as well?
It's incredibly important. It's incredibly important. I'm very proud of where I'm from. I'm very proud of the community that I represent, and I hold them dear. I'm all my tattoos are about my community. You know what I mean? So I play it very close to my heart, and I hope that when the opportunity comes where I have a big platform, that I can continue to put on for my community and for my people. The best people in the world, man. Best people in the world.
No, they are always very nice. That's right. Yeah. That's right. Amir, my last question for you is: could we get any prediction for your fight? Any prediction for how your fight will go? Maybe first round knockout.
For MMA?
Yes.
I'll guarantee a knockout. I guarantee you a knockout. That I can promise you. Whether it's in the first round, second round, third round, it'll come. That I can promise you. Absolutely. When I hit people hard with 10-ounce gloves. I put people away with 10-ounce gloves. With 4-ounce gloves, I'm gonna put people to sleep. No problem.
Absolutely. And could you get a final message for all the Amir Ghassemi fans out there worldwide?
I appreciate you guys. You guys are. Without your support, I wouldn't be able to have these opportunities to get on these podcasts and all this kind of stuff as well. The show is coming. I'll put it out. There's a show coming for sure.
And could you get a message for all the Persian fans in Farsi as well?
In Farsi, okay. I'll do my best here, brother. I'll do my best here. دستتون در نکنه برای همه سپورتتون. من واقعا من همه کارهایی که میکنم واسه شماست. دستتون در نکنه واسه همه چی. شما دل منی، عشق منی.
Thank you so much for your time today, Amir. Always a huge pleasure talking to you, and hopefully see you soon in Vancouver.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for having me on.